Do you agree it's time to put up or shut up for Love?
Put up or shut up. It's time for J Love to ball. It's time for J Love to stay healthy and be consistent. Jordan Love has the ability to be a special quarterback. They just got you a dude that run 4.2 out of the draft, a first-round receiver to go already with a great receiver room and an all-pro running back in Josh Jacobs.
After a crushing wildcard round exit for the Green Bay Packers in 2024, all eyes turned to Jordan Love. Can he bounce back and reclaim his spot as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? We've seen him do it before. Obviously, back in 2023, he flashed elite play extension skills, pinpoint deep ball accuracy, and leadership that rallied the locker room around him. But 2024 told a different story. Nagging injuries slowed him down, passing efficiency dipped, and the Packers leaned heavily on new workhorse running back Josh Jacobs. And the glaring issue that dominated headlines last year, Green Bay's lack of a true number one wide receiver. Since Davante Adams left in 2022, no one has stepped up to be the undisputed alpha on this team. This young receiving core is loaded with talent. You have Jayden Reed's explosive speed, Romeo Doubs' versatility, and big body targets like Christian Watson and Dontavius Wicks. But injuries and inconsistency kept the passing game from reaching its ceiling last year. Then came the 2025 NFL Draft, and a move that no one saw coming. I mean, for the first time in 23 years, the Packers spent a first-round pick on a wide receiver, landing dynamic playmaker Matthew Golden at number 23 overall. Golden has elite versatility. He's able to dominate both outside and in the slot. This makes him a perfect go-to weapon for Love. And paired with this stacked offense, the Packers suddenly have the firepower to terrorize defenses and take command of the NFC North. So smash the like button if you're excited about Matthew Golden and Jordan Love this year. And actually let me know in the comments, do you think Matthew Golden will cross 1,000 yards this year? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
How cool is that? The Packers trade up from the 30th spot to number 26 so they can get their heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. He is now a Green Bay Packer.
This is a side note. I'm not even sure if I'm going to leave this in the final audio, but I actually went to high school with Jordan Love. He graduated 2 years ahead of me. So he graduated and I was a sophomore, so I got to watch him play. We actually both went to Liberty High School in Bakersfield, California. And you also see there his sister sitting next to him, Alexis Love. She graduated the same year as me. She's a track star. Both super humble, super nice family, family of athletes. So really cool bit of info for you Packers fans. Jordan Love's story in Green Bay has all the makings of a quarterback fairy tale. Drafted 26th overall in 2020, he followed the same blueprint as legends before him, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. He spent 2 years in the shadows, learning and developing from a future Hall of Famer, and then when his moment finally came, he seized it and never looked back. In his first year as a starter, he absolutely lit up the league. 4,159 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and just 11 interceptions, leading the Packers to a 9-8 record and a shocking playoff push. They absolutely stunned Dallas in the wildcard round, hanging 48 points on the Cowboys, before falling in a nail-biter to San Francisco. Love didn't just prove he could sling it, he proved he could win, with the accuracy, mobility, and poise of a true franchise quarterback. So headed into 2024, expectations were obviously high, but the season quickly turned into a battle for survival. Love sprained his MCL late in week 1 against the Eagles, forcing him to miss 2 games and limiting his mobility for the first half of the year. His trademark ability to extend plays outside of the pocket absolutely vanished. Mid-season, he also suffered a groin injury in week 8 against Jacksonville, playing through the pain before re-aggravating it and sitting the rest of the game. He finished the year banged up with a groin, MCL, and even a minor elbow injury in his throwing arm. And he wasn't the only one banged up last year. Every single one of Green Bay's pass catchers missed time throughout the season. This young receiving core is loaded with potential, but still searching for a true alpha. Jayden Reed and Romeo Doubs carried the load in 2024, but the group as a whole did struggle with drops, with 33 on the year, third most in the league. In many and key third and crunch time situations, Reed brought flashes and big play potential, but tends to vanish for multiple games at a time, while Doubs was the reliable X receiver but lacked breakaway explosiveness. So with this battered passing attack, the Packers leaned heavily on Josh Jacobs, and he absolutely delivered, like an old school workhorse. 301 carries, over 1,300 yards, 9 straight games with a rushing touchdown, including the playoffs, and 15 total touchdowns over the year. 4th in the league, mind you. Jacobs became the heartbeat of this offense, even ripping off a jaw-dropping 31-yard touchdown run in the wildcard loss to Philadelphia. And that playoff game was a harsh reminder of the gap between this team and true contention. Down 10-0 at halftime, Reed and Doubs both left injured. Love threw 3 picks, and the passing game completely stalled. Only the defense and Jacobs were what was keeping the Packers alive in this game. But the takeaway from 2024 is crystal clear. This is a tough, young, and talented team that's just a few key pieces away from making a serious noise in the NFC. The biggest missing piece for them? A true number 1 wide receiver. And I think Josh Jacobs put it here best.
And then we probably missing like 2 or 3 pieces. And once we get that, we'll be all right.
What pieces?
Yeah. I would say, I think we need another DN.
Okay.
I think we need another DB, and then I think we need a wide receiver, a real wide receiver.
Miles Garrett
number
will
1
be here later.
Yeah, like I love the guys that we have in the receiving room. They all have potential to be one,
right.
But we need a guy that's proven to be one.
Right.
Headed into the 2025 NFL Draft, the Packers' priorities couldn't have been clearer. They knew they needed a true difference maker at wide receiver, someone who demanded targets, can make the tough grabs in traffic, and rise above defenders for those highlight reel catches. And sitting at pick number 23, they knew every choice would count. And 2 of the top pass-catching prospects were already off the board. Ted McMillan to the Panthers at number 8, and Emeka Egbuka to the Bucks at number 16. And the clock was ticking. Then came the moment that sent shockwaves through the league. For the first time in 23 years, the Green Bay Packers selected Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas, with the 23rd pick in the first round. A versatile, dynamic playmaker, built to thrive in any role on the offense. And Matthew Golden's final college season was nothing short of electric. After a slow start, the Longhorns wideout exploded onto the scene, hauling in 58 catches for just under 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. He really took over the offense down the stretch and became their go-to guy for Texas, consistently delivering in the biggest, most clutch moments. And by the second half of the year, he was Quinn Ewers' favorite target, and he proved it on the biggest stages of his career. In the SEC Championship game against Georgia, he torched the Bulldogs for 162 yards. Then again, in the Peach Bowl, he followed up with 149 yards, a touchdown, and the game-winning 2-point conversion in double overtime against Arizona State, cementing himself as one of the most clutch players in college football. And Matthew Golden's speed and size is going to really set him aside from the rest of the Packers group. He's not just fast. He ran a 4.29 in the 40-yard dash at the Combine this year. And at 5'11 and 191 pounds, he brings physicality and finesse when he's on the field, winning those contested catches, exploding off the line, and creating separation with ease. His game reminds me that of Jordan Addison, blending sharp route running with pure playmaking ability. And now Jordan Love has every weapon he needs to bounce back in a big way and absolutely light the NFC North on fire.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
And he's here. Talk about giving the people what they want. Let's bring a draft to Green Bay. That is what we call checking every box.
Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jordan Love and this new offensive unit are primed for a serious comeback season in 2025, with the passing game and Matthew Golden leading the way. After showing flashes of brilliance last year, this team attacked the offseason with precision, starting off by upgrading the trenches and adding key pieces to protect Jordan Love and unlock his full potential. At left tackle, Rasheed Walker returns as the starter, but competition is heating up. With the arrival of Anthony Belton, the talented second-rounder out of Georgia, and Jordan Morgan, last year's first-round pick, this trio gives Green Bay both depth and long-term stability at one of football's most important positions. And the Packers brought in Aaron Banks from the 49ers. He steps in immediately at left guard to bring toughness and experience to that O-line. Ellington Jenkins slides in the starting center role, a move that maximizes his leadership and versatility on the field. And on the right side, you have Sean Ryan. He locks down right guard, while Zach Tom continues to be one of the most reliable right tackles in the league. And with the fortified line in front of him, Jordan Love will have more time, cleaner pockets, and better windows to attack defenses. That protection means crisper route timing, more downfield opportunities, and fewer forced throws. This is exactly the formula for an explosive and efficient passing attack. And with the arrival of Matthew Golden, Jordan Love suddenly has one of the most dangerous rotations of pass catchers in the league. Golden instantly steps in as the go-to first read, with Romeo Doubs holding down the opposite side, and Jayden Reed wreaking havoc from the slot, constantly moving around the line of scrimmage to exploit those matchups. They also have Christian Watson and Dontavius Wicks, two athletically gifted receivers who have struggled with injuries and drops last year. Watson tore his ACL in Week 18 and is not expected back until mid-season of 2025. And to round off the group, in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Packers actually double-dipped at receiver, landing Savion Williams out of TCU in the 3rd round. A do-it-all weapon who can line up wide or even in the backfield. And at 6'4", 222 pounds, he's a big, physical, and fast yard-after-the-contact machine. Williams turned heads at the combine with a 4.48 40-yard dash, proving he's got the speed to torch defenders and the size to run through them as well. The Deebo Samuel comparisons are on the money. And at tight end, they have both Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, with Kraft earning the starting role after a breakout season last year where he put up 707 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, averaging over 14 yards per catch. He's a dynamic playmaker with elite yards after the contact ability, making him a reliable chuck down and intermediate target for Love. Musgrave will be the secondary big guy to come in on 12-person schemes, largely as a possession and blocking body for Jacobs. And while this new passing game is stacked, this revamped offensive line should make the run game even more lethal. The Packers already ranked 5th in the NFL last year in rushing yards and attempts, unlocking a formula that made Josh Jacobs a perfect fit on this offense. And now, with improved blocking, Jacobs should see bigger lanes and more explosive gains. And if everything clicks, with Jordan Love healthy and a sharper, more efficient passing attack, this offense instantly becomes more balanced and unpredictable. Defenses will be forced to drop extra men into coverage, opening up wide running lanes for Josh Jacobs to feast up the middle. Then when they start stacking the box to stop the run, Love can drop back and hit them with lethal play-action shots, creating explosive plays over the top. And with depth, versatility, and playmakers at every level, this Green Bay offense isn't just good. It's built to dominate the NFL.
At quick hitters, most impressive newcomer so far?
Matthew Golden.
Take me through what makes him special so far.
He came in really polished and has been making plays since day one. He's got very aggressive hands. He's a smooth route runner. He's got speed. So I think for him, it's just continue to understand the playbook and wrap his head around everything that we have in, because we have a very deep system. But when you can see when he knows what he's doing, he's feeling confident. He's been playing lights out, so he's going to be a stud.
The Green Bay Packers entered 2025 with a revamped and hungry defense. Under second-year defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, last season, Hafley's group was stout against the run, but did struggle generating consistent pass rush and holding up in coverage. The major storyline for the defense in 2024 was the departure of All-Pro corner Jair Alexander. He signed with the Ravens going into his 8th season in the league. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler and is a difference maker when he's on the field, although his multiple injuries have held him back over the past few years. And to fill that void, the Packers traded for physical slot corner Nate Hobbs from the Raiders, a gritty, aggressive defender who thrives in man coverage and isn't afraid to get involved in run support. And at safety, the Packers have veteran Xavier McKinney. He's a quick ball hawk who brings leadership and the ability to shut down deep threats. And of course, you got linebacker Quay Walker. He continues to emerge as the heart of this defense. It's no secret, the Packers have made it abundantly clear this offseason they're all in on supercharging their pass rush in 2025. Last year, Green Bay finished 8th in the NFL with 45 sacks and ranked just 13th in pressure rate at 35.2%. But the production wasn't always consistent. Rashawn Gary led the charge with 7.5 sacks, yet he only posted an 11.9% pressure rate, leaving a lot of room for improvement and a big step forward this year. And that's why the Packers are banking on major leaps from the young defensive line, all former first rounders, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, and Lucas Van Ness, along with an infusion of fresh talent from this year's draft. In the later rounds, they went all defense, adding Texas edge rusher Barron Sorrell in the 4th, Oklahoma State's Colin Oliver in the 5th, and Georgia defensive tackle Warren Brinson in the 6th. And Hafley's scheme in year 2 will lean into disguised coverages, creative blitz packages, and situational aggression, aiming to turn a previously one-dimensional defense into a balanced nightmare for opposing offenses.
At the end of the day, when you really turn on the tape and you look at our sacks and you look at our pressure, we had success.
There we go. There you go. There's the pressure they've been waiting for.
It's just like anything else, we want more and we need more. I need to make sure we get those guys better, and then it's on them as well. We're a team in this.
And overall, I'm optimistic for the Packers in 2025. Jordan Love has had the full offseason to not only recover from injuries, but build chemistry with his receivers. And as of right now, August 14th, 2025, Jordan Love just had minor surgery on his left thumb, but he is expected to be back by next week and ready to go for camp. And this year, he's got something that he's never had before, a true number 1 wide receiver in Matthew Golden. You pair him with Jayden Reed in the slot and Romeo Doubs on the outside. You also have depth pieces like Christian Watson and Dontavius Wicks, and suddenly this passing attack has firepower at every angle. And up front, the offensive line has been retooled and reinforced, giving Love cleaner pockets and opening up even bigger lanes for Josh Jacobs, who's coming off an absolutely dominant season. With this balanced attack between the run and the pass, this offense can be unpredictable and keep defenses guessing, which is exactly what you need when you're facing the 6th hardest schedule in the league. So this won't be an easy ride, but if Love can stay healthy and Golden and the rest of this talented pass catchers can hit their stride, the sky's the limit here in Lambeau. And they do happen to be in the best division in the league right now. And like we saw last year, the Packers, Lions, and Vikings all made the playoffs in 2024. I do foresee the Lions taking a small step back next year with some of their coaching and O-line turnover. I would say this team repeats their record from last year at 11-6, and mind you, this is a much harder schedule than they played last year, so I can easily see this team going toe-to-toe with the Vikings for the NFC North crown. But that pretty much wraps up this video, so thanks so much for watching. If you made it to the end, please smash the like button and subscribe for more football content just like this. But the Red Zone guy is signing out. Have a great rest of your day, and see you in the next video.